Hi, this is Jeff from the Ozark Mountains. That's in Missouri, in the USA. Well, we're sitting at the table again, which must mean it's time for another Ferengi Fridays. Ferengi Fridays is where we take a look at all the recent acquisitions in the shop. I did things a little different this time, and I opened up things as they came in, and so this footage has been spread out over many weeks. Hopefully it'll all come together into a nice cohesive video. So get yourself a Slug-O-Cola and let's get started. This video is brought to you by PCBWay. It's easy to jump on their website and get your quick quote for your next circuit board. They also offer CNC services, 3D printing, enclosure making, everything you need for a complete product. They also do surface mount and through-hole assembly, stencils, and a range of other products and services. If you need advanced circuit boards like flex boards, microwave boards, that type of thing, they got you covered there too. Whatever your PCB or prototyping needs, PCBWay has you covered. Here we have a box all the way from Budapest, Hungary. Got a little beaten up in shipment, so hopefully it's okay. My first foray into buying something from a Hungarian auction, and the language barrier was definitely an issue. Oh yeah, this wasn't packed very well, was it? No, that's not. That's not very good packing material. Well, hopefully this didn't get too badly damaged. This is the Hungarian version of the Sharp PC 1500. Oh, thankfully, it doesn't look too beaten up. Case is a little dirty. Got the original power supply, cassette cable, a little sleeve for the unit, and there we go. PTA 4000, licensed by Sharp. Instead of the CE 150, this is labeled as the KA 160. Now, I've heard both that this was partially manufactured in Hungary, maybe assembled, and I've heard that it was assembled in Japan and just rebadged. But, well, this says made in Hungary. So the PC 1500 was kind of unique in that it was made in 4 different places in the world. Or I guess had 4 different versions. It was made in Japan, Hungary, Brazil, and China. And the other locations besides from Japan under license from Sharp. Yeah, this has had some leaking NiCad batteries in it. That's not too unusual. A little bit of damage there, but I think this will clean up. Oh, gosh, it is on there really tight. Yeah, the inside here is not too eaten up by the NiCad batteries, so hopefully it'll be okay. PTA 4000. Made in Hungary. So being able to set up an agreement in Hungary at this time to manufacture things and do a deal with Sharp, that was quite an unusual thing. So I imagine these were very expensive. in Hungary, and they are not too plentiful. They don't show up on eBay very often, so getting one from the Hungarian auction was about the only way to go about it. So I'll put this in the queue with my other PC 1500s to refurbish. I'm pretty happy about being able to get a hold of this. Okay, this is an eBay purchase, and I'm not really buying much off of eBay these days. But I have a few safe searches for some things that are kind of hard to come by, and this bugger is one of them. I actually have enough stuff to work on now. Not in a big hurry to buy anything in particular. Just if something presents itself. This one has the manuals in it. This is the Olivetti M-10, or Olivetti M-10, which is the sexy Italian cousin of the TRS-80 Model 100. Still designed and made by Kyocera in Japan, but it has the tilt-up screen. It is a, oh, that is so beautiful. Slightly reconfigured motherboard. It doesn't have the funky option ROM sockets. A little dirt under the screen we're gonna have to take care of there. Oh yeah, I've worked on one of these. It'll need recapped. Excellent, excellent, excellent. These don't come up for very often. And when they do, they're generally pretty expensive. So I've had a safe search on eBay for quite a while. I only got one at an affordable price. Battery compartment's in good shape. So there is one remaining slab top like this made by Kyocera, which was the KC85. Those come up even less often than this guy. So maybe someday I'll be able to find one and afford it. Nice, stylish Olivetti slipcase. Has a nice, supple material. Excellent. I'm very happy about that. This large box is a donation. And I have no idea what was in it other than somebody sent me an email with the tracking number and said it was on its way. It's quite a large box, so who knows? Please give me a good home. Packaging made from recycled water bottles. Okay, there's something here which is kind of squishy feeling. I think I'll set this big box on the floor and transfer everything to the table. Okay, we have the squishy feeling bag. And box in a bag. Oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. I can tell what that is through the bags. This is the Convergent work slate in its original box. That goes along with the 23 pounds of accessories I bought. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, we'll take this out of the box here shortly. As soon as we open these two guys. This is some type of slipcase. And what all is in here? There's a pocket there that has a bunch of work slate micro cassettes. And a work slate power adapter. And all the work slate manuals. Freaking awesome. So we have the owner's manual, the exercise workbook. I think that's exercises you do, learning how to use the machine, not like working out and pumping iron. Microprinter manual, reference guide, another reference guide. Okay, here in that last box we have a comport accessory, some paper, the program cassette sets, a battery, some loose folly bits, and the printer. These use the same Alps mechanism as the Commodore 1520 and that little Sharp / Hungarian pocket computer. Just a wider carriage. That's in really good shape. Wow. What a fantastic donation. Thank you very much. That is super awesome. He asked to give this a good home, and I will endeavor to do so. This is the work slate box. I've never actually seen it in the box. Squeaky styrofoam and the whole 9 yards. Normally, okay, this says bottom. Normally I manage to open these upside down, so I appreciate when they put a top and bottom on there. Oh, look at that. It's got the slip cover, cardboard. Oh, this is like new. Holy cats. It is freaking new. Look at that. It's still got the plastic on there. Oh my God. That is brand freaking new. Wow. So got the whole thing in there for the... Wow. I am nearly speechless. That's the only mechanical button on that cassette deck. Holy freaking cow. You know, I think if this thing had had a real keyboard and maybe a little improvement in the software, it would have done really, really good. It's all the cassettes that came with it. And these cases, cassette cases, locked together like that. How cool is that? The power supply, rechargeable NiCad pack, which, you know, is corroding after all these years, but so this is like a calculator numpad. If you wanted to use this as a telephone, which you could do, you could slip a telephone numpad over it. It could also work as an answering machine and a dictation machine and a computer. You have an interesting combination of features. Oh, the books, oh my gosh. Holy freaking cow. Wow. An RSVP card. Oh my. Okay. I think this deserves its own episode to set this thing up and power it up for the first time forever since the early to mid 1980s. Oh my goodness. That is just freaking amazing. Okay, let's see what's in this box. I think this is an NEC PC 8300. I wasn't intended on buying another one of these, but this popped up fairly cheap on eBay with free shipping. So I jumped at the chance. Yeah, one of the reasons it was cheap is it's missing this bottom cover, but hey, we can 3D print that, can't we? Yeah, okay. Doesn't have any expansion stuff there. Let me grab a screwdriver and we'll see if there's any special ROMs in there. Okay, let's see what is in here. And that's just the normal ROM there. Nothing else added. Well, it's interesting, this has the German RF emission label on it. I don't remember if the other 8300 had that. So it makes me wonder where this thing originated. So I should pull the battery box out and make sure that there's no batteries left in it. Get into this thing here. Yeah, it's in good shape inside. It's not all rusted up, so it'll give us something fun to work on a little later on. So other than being very yellow and a little dirty and missing that cover, it's in good shape. It's cleaned up, maybe a little retro bright polish on that clear cover, and I think it'll be a good one. Okay, here we are in a different room, and you see this whole pile of stuff. And this is not something I set out to find or was looking for. I bought this from University Surplus. It's a bunch of old Mac stuff and some miscellaneous things in this big box. There's a little tiny security monitor over here. So I got this pretty cheap. They were happy they didn't have to pay to have the monitors, the CRTs recycled. So we'll take all this one at a time in on the table in there and have a peek at it. I thought we would start with the Macs and go from the smallest case size up to the largest case size. So the first one up here is this Quadra 700. So if I spin it around, you might just be able to see this funny connector right here, which I didn't notice at first. This is a GPIB connector. So that made me say, So if we pop this case off here, like so, we can see this humongous GPIB card, which is actually marked Copyright 1991 National Instruments. It's got another National Instruments marked chip here. All sorts of stuff. That's a lot of stuff for a GPIB card. And there's another little card here in the back, which I'm not sure what that is. It's got a big heat sink on it though. Pull him out. And I don't know, this one's made by Apple Computer. It's got a bunch of chips on it, so maybe this is a RAM card. I am not a Mac person, so I am not sure. I don't really see a part number on here. This is FCC stuff. These are marked Apple. There's some type of big chip under here. Looks like this could be RAM here. So, I don't know. Is that a RAM card, a graphics card? All you Mac people will have to comment down below as to what that is. See if I can get him plugged back in there. And of course, we got our hard drive here, also marked 1991. And the floppy drive's underneath that, and I believe there's a battery in this corner of the board right by where the RAM is. That's right, there's RAM right here, so maybe this is a video card with its own RAM. Not really sure. I think we should check the battery here and pull it out if there's still one in there. Okay, as I recall, this whole thing comes out as a package. I did manage to slip the power supply out, but this piece right here is locked into it, so you've got to push this in and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And I pulled the hard drive out. These little catches do release it. It's just been in there a long time, so. Okay. And yeah, these wires are so freaking short. Okay. At least they put a little pull tab on there. It is a Sony MP75W-01G. Oh man, that is really dusty inside. Okay. Oh my gosh, this battery has not corroded. It's a miracle. Can you believe it? This is the one which is not corroded and destroyed things. Yeah, so, and it hasn't destroyed the memory. We've got some other memory slots here. Okay, you just slip something down in there and it releases it. Okay, not too shabby. And we've got it out of there. Inorganic lithium battery. No corrosion evident. It's a miracle. Okay, so this will be safe to store until such time as I decide to look at it. I wanted to take a little closer look at this super fancy and complicated GPIB card, because normally it would be something that would be very simple. It would be like this chip plus a few other things. This is an NEC D721OC, which is a GPIB chip. This is a special National Instruments Turbo 488, which is like a GPIB coprocessor, which works with this guy and does a lot of fancy stuff. It's got a big Intel DMA controller down here. I think these are bus transceivers. It's got 12 or 13 separate GAL chips down here, plus lots of other glue logic. It's just amazing. And this is actually an I/O port for, like we saw on the other computer, that you would connect to an I/O board, like a solid-state relay board, something like that. And this thing is designed so you set it all up, and it automatically talks to your GPIB equipment, gets all the data, dumps it right into RAM through DMA. So the computer doesn't need to be involved after getting this guy set up, which explains why this thing is so fancy. And I bet back in the day when this was made in 1991, this was an expensive bit of kit. It happens to be the fanciest GPIB board I have ever seen. I mean, wow, look at that thing. It is just chock full of chips. I'll be curious to see if I can find out what they were using this for when it was new. So I will link below to the manual for this thing. It was still on the National Instruments site. And I just gave it a quick perusal, but it's quite impressive what it did. And it's for a Mac. Okay, our next unit is this Mac 2CX. And let me pan up here. Look at this. Yeah, this has had a leaking battery in it. And I already pulled it out. I'll pop some pictures up here. I noticed this and pulled it out right away. And you'll also notice this Daystar sticker. This did have an accelerator card in it. The adapter's still in there, but the CPU card's not. And this little yellow sticker right here, this is an inventory sticker from the university I bought it from. And if it had a yellow sticker like this, that meant it was really expensive. So I'll pop the cover off this and we'll see if we can't take a peek at all the damage that was done. Well, this one's got 3 cards in it. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 15 pin, and an Ethernet. This also looks like it has some RAM on it. And this is a National Instruments card. I think this is an I/O card, judging by the connectors on the back. So I think this is a National Instruments I/O card. I'm not sure about this. I see a sticker that says Farallon. And this is a video card. I'm not sure what this card is. Which way does that unlock? Like that. Nubis Rev G. It doesn't really say on the board what it is, and since I'm not a Mac person, I do not know. So maybe you guys can tell me in the comments below what this card does. So you can see it's stripped down on the video card, a little on this National Instruments card. All down all the RAM modules. There's a big puddle here where the battery was. So it remains to be seen if this one is salvageable. I had some folks on Twitter that knew more about Macs than I do said it might be salvageable. Well, our next unit up is a Power Mac 8100/100, sporting a Power PC badge. And it's got one of those yellow stickers on it saying it was expensive back in the day. I'll take a look at the back panel and see if we can get an idea of what's in it. This has got one of these ugly lock things on the side. And this has no cards with external connectors left in it. Just your standard I/O stuff here. I don't know how this one comes apart. It looks like these 4 screws come off. So they seem to be kind of finger tight. How does this work? Oh, the case slides off the front. Huh. Well, that was pretty easy. So what do we see on this side? Oh, some loose cards. Wow, that's exciting. And a ginormous piece of flex there. I wonder if that's one of those processor accelerator boards. And let's look at the other side. Okay, here we can just see the bottom of the main board. And it doesn't look like it's made to come out that way. There's some little deals here though. So maybe this rotates down or something, I'm not sure. Let's see if we can look at that loose card in there and see what it is. There's another plug right here, which is an odd place for a plug. And we're gonna have to look out for a battery on this guy too. So, oh, exciting, some broken plastic. This guy has come unplugged from one of these slots in here, and I'm not sure which slot it is. Oh, and even I'll get you a close-up of that, even the processor adapter card is kind of whopper-jawed. This thing's been smacked around. Yeah, I'm not sure if it makes a difference which slot that's in. Okay, a little shaky cam here. You can kind of see how this processor adapter here is kind of off kilter. And This whole thing is loose. I'm just going to plug it in this middle slot here. Looks like it'll fit there nice and easy. Oh yeah, that's the one that went to that port here on the back, so that's probably where it was. It's kind of heavy though, and there's really not much holding it in place. So imagine it came loose and maybe jerked this processor card out of the way. Oh, those little deals on the back are pressing on some buttons. Oh no, that's on the front. Yeah, that's some buttons on the front. You can see right there, those two plastic things are these dealy bobs here. You push down on that or push it back. Yeah, you push it back and it hits that switch right there. That feels rather cheesy without the cover on it. I'm not sure about batteries on this guy or how you go about getting the main board loose. I'm going to have to check into that. Okay, it's got that same nasty lithium battery right here. I just poked the cover off of it. And okay. And another one. Oops, you can't see it. Another one that is not corroded. I checked the voltage on the first one and it was completely dead. I assume this one's completely dead, but at least it's out of there now, so we don't have to worry about it corroding. Alrighty, we've got one more Big Mac to take a look at. Now to the beast of the bunch, we have this Macintosh Quadra 900. The cover is kind of whopper-jawed on this, so we'll go ahead and pull it off and have a peek on the inside. By the way, this one also came with this humongous keyboard. I mean, this thing has to be 2 kilograms. It says it's an Apple extended keyboard. You could use that as a bloody weapon. I mean, holy smokes. There's no special looking cards on the back of this one. And if we take the lid off, okay, what do we have here? We've got no cards added in. We've got no memory in here. This thing's just been stripped. Got a floppy drive, a hard drive, this humongous power supply. I mean, look at this thing. It's got to be like a 150 millimeter fan. And a battery, of course. I'll go ahead and get this out of here. There we go. Okay. Okay, holy cow, it's 3 in a row that have not leaked. This one's been replaced. It's a Max L Super Lithium. Most likely dead. So this is a bare bones type of thing. Nothing in it. No cards, no memory, no processor, accelerator. It does have a processor in it though. So I guess just the built-in video, no external video card. And it does include the hard drive and the floppy. And what the hell is this? It's like a little rotating number in the window. It's a switch. Is that setting a device number? Well, that's really weird. And also notice there's like these big pull handles on this power supply. Wow, what a massive unit. Okay, well, this thing is in really good shape. It just has no RAM in it. So I kind of wonder if somebody had some RAM modules for this and popped them in there, if this wouldn't work. It's kind of interesting. I wonder what all this space right here is for. There's all sorts of connectors on this ribbon cable, so maybe there's like an addition to sneak a bunch of extra drives in here or something. So if you know anything about this particular machine, let me know in the comment section down below. Along with the 4 Macintoshes, I got one Mac monitor, and it is a portrait type, and it looks in pretty good physical condition. You can see the back here. Nothing too special. It's got a lock on it like the Quadra 700, so I'm guessing maybe this had come with the Quadra 700 originally. Since I don't have any of those Macs running, and I'm not a Mac guy, so I don't have any other Macs, I can't really test this out right now. We'll have to see later if it works or not. I don't know if there was ever a... Oh, it looks like there might have been a tilt and rotate type of deal right here, a stand, in other words. That's the word for it. And I may have that in that big box. We'll have to see. There are a couple other monitors. Let's have a look at those. Okay, here we have a little Sony Trinitron Multiscan 15SX. It's in really good physical condition. It still has the base on it. And I've got this plugged in to my Extron upscaler, which is connected to the C64. This has a maximum of 1024 by 768 resolution, which I think is what the Extron is set to. So we should be able to get a picture out here and test and see if this thing works. We'll turn on the power center. Turn on the monitor. Well, that's a good sound, isn't it? All right. And fire up the C64. And, oh, I got no power to the C64. That would explain it, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'm dropping stuff now. How about that? Oh, holy crap, look at that. That is awesome. Centering. Looks like there's a bit of a geometry issue with this signal. Shape. Yeah, there we go. It's a little better. How about... Now this is only VGA input. Nothing super fancy about it, but it works great. Now I'm not sure what all frequencies this will take in. As it says, it's a multi-scan, but it's a nice flat screen CRT Sony Trinitron. This is a great little retro monitor. I'm very happy with that. That was a great find. Awesome. Okay, there is one other monitor, and it's even smaller than this, and I think it's probably my favorite. I was wrong about this not having any connection beside the VGA. There's a little 8-pin mini DIN here. I'm not sure what that's for. Maybe someone knows, and you can tell us in the comment section down below. On the back here, it says it is a CPD 15SX1 Trinitron color computer display. Seems like a nice little unit. Okay, this little baby monitor is black and white. It is made by Hitachi, and this is a type of monitor that would be used for like a security system for a CCTV system. And I don't know if this was a spare or if it had been used much. I can't see any burn in on the screen. The case is in really good shape. It's got all the controls you would need on the front panel. And on the back, we have an input and an output. I imagine the output was to go to a recorder. It's got a switch here to set the impedance, and there's a blanking plate here. I actually found the manual for this, and in the manual it shows you how to add a secondary connection to wire it into the board, which would go on this panel. There's actually a cutout panel here with more connectors like this. Now, of course, these are a different type of connector which was converted to BNC, and I'm going to use a BNC to RCA adapter, so we're going to have twice the adapters and twice the fun. And we'll try plugging this in and hooking it up to our Commodore 64 and see what happens. I think this would be a great monitor to team up with like a ZX81. I mean, the ZX81 is about the same width. It would look like a little matched set. Okay, I've got this plugged in, so we'll turn him on first. See if any magic smoke comes out. And that's not a good sign. I was going to say I didn't hear anything like high voltage, but here it comes on. We can turn the brightness down. Okay, I've got a regular Commodore video cable back here, and I always forget which color is which. I know I had that memorized back in the day, but I forget it. So I think it's the yellow is luminance, but we'll see here. Kick it on. And vertical hold. Hey, we've got a picture. It's kind of crappy, but we've got a picture. Oh yeah, these pots need some help, don't they? Those will have to be cleaned. All right, but that looks pretty darn good. You might see some rolling in the video. I don't know if the camera is syncing to this properly, but it looks pretty darn good here in person. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. Yeah. The geometry's good. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I think if we take a ZX81 with a composite output mod and hook up to this thing, that would be a nice little combination. What do you think? Let me know. What do you think would be a good vintage computer to hook up to this little tiny monitor? It'd be a neat little setup, I think. Or maybe something else you think would be nice to hook to this thing. Okay, now we still have a big box of miscellaneous stuff to go through, so let me go grab it and we'll tuck this little baby monitor away and we'll see what's in that box. Check this out. These were really super popular back in the day. They called many things, including a digital logic trainer. You had various voltage sources here you could hook up to, several breadboards, some signals over here. You could plug into some LEDs for indicators. Got switches, that's all loose there. Built-in clock, adjustable voltage, both positive and negative. And the coolest thing of all, this is actual wood. An actual wooden logic trainer. Who'd have thunk it? And the back is pretty simple. Just a metal plate, which is a little loose, and a fuse. I just thought this was the coolest thing with the wood sides and all. And a friend of mine who went to the university I work at, he went there back in the day and he actually used these in his classes. This would be interesting to clean up and use that to build some projects on. Okay, here we have a Fluke 8000A digital multimeter. Type with these nice clicky buttons. No auto-ranging rubbish here. It is a bench meter. It has a cord. Some of these had a battery option as well. So if we look at the nomenclature on the back, yeah, this says rechargeable battery option, digital printer output option. Wow. Fancy schmancy. And it gives all the specifications. I have not plugged this in yet to see if it works. We can try that really fast and at least measure some ohms. This looks like a 7-segment LED type of deal. Okay, well, it came on. I'm not sure what it's displaying here. Oh, we're in the 20 megohm range. So I guess let's put that in k ohms. Plug our leads here into common and volt ohm. Short our leads. Yeah, that looks somewhat reasonable. That's on the 200 ohm scale. And each of these segments, I'll zoom in on that, is made up of lots of little teeny tiny LEDs. I'm not sure why sometimes it seems like the display locks in and sometimes it doesn't. Got a random old board here from the box. We'll try measuring a resistor on this board. Yeah, that seems like it's doing the business. Okay, another random board from the box. This resistor here is a 1K. So if we put this on the 2K range, yeah, something's not going quite right there. So we do have some troubles. Yeah, even when the probe's shorted, it's not working right. Okay, so this guy's not working quite right. A lot of times these ganged push buttons like this have contact problems over the years. At some point in time, I'll take this apart and clean all the switches and check everything out inside. Let me see if I can get you zoomed in on these numbers. They're kind of interesting. Yeah, I think you can just make out there that each segment is made up of many tiny LEDs. It's kind of an interesting display. And if you would like a future episode taking a look at old meters like this, I've got several sitting on a shelf that need service and checked out. Just let me know, and maybe we can do an episode where we look at one or two of those. Okay, we have some random boards from our big box of stuff. I'm not sure what this was, but this is marked 89C51. So some type of 8051 variant, I'm guessing. This is a Max 232. So some type of little microcontroller board that somebody wired up for something. But things like this are always great for parts. We've got an old video card. This is an ATI. Part number 109-63100-10. Not sure if it says anything else on the back. Yeah, there's some other numbers there. ATI Graphics Rage 128 Pro. Copyright 1999. No idea if this guy is good or not. If not, at least there's a lot of good parts. And we have this board. Not sure what this guy is. This is marked 705V D870S VL 2793-PC. And it's got some glue logic, a crystal oscillator, a little pot here for adjusting something, maybe trimming the oscillator. Oh, here's a sticker. Aerosmith Technologies. Guessing they're not related to the band. If you recognize anything about this board, let us know what it is. Again, if for nothing else, maybe good for the parts. Here is another more complicated project built on some proto board. This guy has an Atmel 89C51, a Maxim chip, an Intel 8255. This is a parallel I/O chip. A bunch of, these are voltage regulators. These just look like transistors. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what this board did. A bunch of other transistors down here. Lots of I/O, but good for parts. And, nope, can't quite get that one in frame. Whitification. There we go, random 486 board. Some battery leakage. This might be savable though. It's got some pretty good leakage in this corner of the board, so I'll see if I can't snip that battery out of there. And, I don't know, maybe sometime I'll try to get this working. IBM PCs really aren't my thing. But, you never know. And it's got lots of memory modules in there. So, which might be good for something else. It doesn't really say anything on the back. Oh my, yeah, even on the bottom here, there is corrosion from that leaking battery. Get the darn batteries out. Yeah, but I really don't see any sort of name on this board. It's just really generic. Very odd. Okay, let's see what else is in the box. Okay, in the bottom of the box, we had 4 of these Apple keyboards. I think you can probably see that, but it says Apple Design Keyboard, model M2980, and there's a couple of them that have been permanently uglified with these Kensington locks. If you know of a way to get these off of there without scarring up the plastic too bad, please let me know. Oh, that one's missing a foot too. I bet somebody's designed one to be 3D printed though. There was also an Apple mouse in there, and all of its one button glory that doesn't really click at all. Oh, there we go. Its clicker was jammed up. Okay, the last of the Apple stuff. There are a couple of these. Apple model number M-0437 Apple Ethernet Twisted Pair Transceiver. Like this with the special funky Apple connector, because Apple can't do anything like anybody else ever. Well, there's two of those, so at least you can make two things Apple talk to each other. And there are several funky cables like this, which seem to be monitor cables of some sort, converting from one style to another. Or maybe a few different types, or I don't know. It's kind of odd. And then there's like a single adapter like this, so maybe somebody can explain what this whole double Y mess is for. Maybe it's just like two different, so you can use two different style cables in one. You know, one cable will work for two or something like that. I'm not really sure, to be honest. There was also a couple monitor bases in there. Well, these are not marked. Oh, I guess this one is. I just saw this number. It says 5W2-17D1. There's no manufacturer's mark on it. Neither of these fit the one Apple monitor. This one is a really strange one. I'm not sure either side really looks like up or down, or how it actually fastened onto something, but this just slips. Oh, that is really, really loud. It slips like that, and it's got this big recessed area here. And neither side looks like it's made to go down, so maybe this is like supposed to sit on something with the monitor on top of it. I don't know. If you know, let everyone know. I'm not exactly sure what to do because these don't fit anything I have, but maybe they fit something you have and you need it. Let me know. And scraping the bottom of our box, we have a whole bunch of power cords. These things seem to multiply like rabbits. I've got a whole big box of them. A stereo cable, 3mm male to male, firewire, a couple old Ethernet cables, which are like, I don't know, they said level 4, so is that a Cat 4 cable? 24 gauge. Yeah. And a phone cable, which is gone sticky, so I think I'll send that to the recycling. And I've got bins for all this other stuff. I keep that for a day when I actually need it. Well, I hope you found that interesting. Now, me, I'm not sure what to do with all that Mac stuff because I'm not really a Mac person, and I actually have two Macs that's going to come ahead of that in the queue of things to fix. So if you have any ideas, let me know. If you know anything more about that equipment, for instance, that fancy GPIB board, just let us know in the comment section down below. Say, if you're not already a subscriber to the channel, well, just look down below for that rectangular button that says subscribe and click on that guy. That's really encouraging to content creators to see that subscription rate grow little by little. Then, if you click on that bell-shaped icon, YouTube will be nice enough to let you know just as soon as I post a new video. And I'd like to take a moment to say thanks to everyone who helps support the Hey Birt channel through Patreon and other means. It's greatly appreciated. And if you'd like to find out some more information about that, well, if you look in the description below, there'll be some links there with some more information. If you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you. Just leave them in the comments section down below. Well, until next time, bye.